What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. Got a new Kunwu in? Let's dive into it. All right, guys, we have the Kunwu Gringo in today, and we have probably my favorite version of it in. We got the textured handles here with titanium pocket clip with Damascus pivot collars going on here, geared back spacer. Really well done, by the way, on that. Almost seamless, hard to tell the seams there, but it is clamshell with the integrated back spacer. Amazing attention to detail. And then you have a spear point harpoon drop point. No, a harpoon spear point. Yes. And I believe this one coming in S390. Let me see. Is that right? Yeah, S390 and coming in at an HRC of 65 to 67. And it is a full DLC on this one. I laid it upside down because it rocks if you lay it on the pocket clip. But full DLC meaning DLC on the handles, DLC on the backspacer, DLC on the pocket clip, DLC hardware, and DLC on the blade. That is pretty impressive. A very nice DLC, multi-row bearings in the pivot, fantastic detent on this one here. Very satisfying to deploy both with the opening hole, and I have to remember left-handed. I'm not normally a lefty, but it is very satisfying. The detent tune on that front flipper, very much so. So anything that you see as far as that front flipper is concerned with me trying to open it, that is 100% on me. That is not the knife. I would try to do the finger roll, but I don't feel that secure. My dexterity is okay left-handed. I can do some things better than others, but and I wanted to check this one out, and Kevin only had the lefty version to check out, so I did sign up for it. Shout out and thanks to Lefty making it possible to check this one out. I did do some cutting with this one, and it is an absolute laser beam. I'm not super familiar with S390, but I am with Kunwu's factory edges. They always come very nice, and it has a very tall flat grind, and even though it is a larger knife, it has a very excellent geometry when it comes to the blade's geometry itself. Absolute laser through everything that I threw at this one here. 100% comfortable too. Even though I am right-handed and the pocket clip was on the other side, that actually improved the comfort. So I did obviously very much notice with my fingers the pocket clip, but when I hold it left-handed, it's pretty comfortable. It's a little tight because I kind of end up landing here when I want to go into the cutouts. So you can see the back of my pinky hangs off just a little bit there. But when I choke up, plenty of space, very comfortable the way this bubbles out. The only thing I would probably change on it is you see how it's kind of rounded coming in. I'd probably just round this off a little bit more, and then it would be super comfortable. But if you choke back, you can just throw the pinky up on there, and man, it is going to be really comfortable, especially for those puncturing tasks. And then as a lefty, yeah, very comfortable. I wouldn't put the pinky down there if you're going to be using it in the tactical position, but I really do like this one a bunch. Let's go ahead and bring out some size comparisons, and then we'll weigh this one. Alright guys, I'm going to start off with the Padre. This is the full-size Padre, and you can see the Gringo is just much larger overall, and then we got the mini growler for a mini knife for a small knife size comparison. But again, this is a full-size knife that I can get a full purchase on, and you can see the Gringo is just larger. I apologize for laying that pocket clip up, but it wobbles a lot when you try to lay it on the pocket clip side. Let's bring out a couple more, and then we'll grab the scale. All right, I'm going to bring a couple of budget knives out here. We have the Kubi Supercell for the full-size knife comparison, and then we have the Kaiser Nice Guy for the mini knife comparison. And as again, you can tell, this is a full-size, big, beefy knife. This is not for the faint of heart. Let's grab the scale. We'll check the weight on this one. All right, got the scale out here. Let's cut her on and see what this big boy comes in at. My guess is like 7 ounces. Coming in at 6, I was being sarcastic, by the way. Coming in at 5.9, I'm not going to round up. 5.9 ounces for the size. That's pretty impressive. The Padre in comparison is 5.2, 5.3. Okay, sort of remember the weight right, but considering the size difference and it's only taking it from 5.3 to 5.9, so 0.6 ounces for the larger knife, just goes to show how much work went into trying to keep this as light as possible for as big of a knife as this is. Let's get the scale out of the way. We'll go ahead and wrap up with final thoughts and impressions. All right, guys, for those of you that have made it to this point, I am sure if enough folks reach out to Kunwu and say, love the Gringo, can you make a smaller one? They'll probably make a compadre Gringo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll make it compact. Just probably compact Gringo. I don't know. What would you call that? Little Gringo? The little Gringo? There you go. Kunwu, hit me up. I got you covered. They'll probably make the little Gringo and in your size, but for a full-size knife, I really like this a lot. For me, I am more utilitarian with my EDCU, so I probably would choke up a lot. And then if I were to rock back into this position, I wouldn't on the DLC round that off, so I probably would just let the pinky fall back onto it and use it like so. It feels really weird to do that left hand. It feels more natural when I let my pinky rest on there for me on my dominant hand to kind of hold it in this position and not really have to choke up. But it's very comfortable. The weight doesn't, it's not noticeable that it's a super heavy knife. Like, well, is it super heavy? I don't think it's really super heavy. It's a heavier knife, but it doesn't feel it in the hand is what I'm really trying to say. I think the DLC is awesome. I don't know anything about S390. And perhaps they can do like a VanX or LMAX version of this to make it more affordable for those that maybe are voicing their opinion on the fact that this is closer to the 400 side than it is the 300 side for this knife. I totally get that. Now, let's go ahead and score. If you're not familiar on this channel, I rate knives on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest a knife can rank. And there's a lot of things that go into account. So money for value, ergos, performance, build quality, and there is a little bit of an exotic factor with these unique special steels. And this one is a little greased up here, so I am gonna, as I talk, try to clean it off. It's just from where I've been handling it and flicking it, and the oil and the grease and everything's getting everywhere. DLC is something that does bump up for me because it's nice to see that you have a hardened coating on here to protect everything from scratches, and they're doing such a high heat treat on this that I'm not really necessarily concerned about the DLC process. There's a lot to like here, guys. The price is a little high, even for me, a little bit on the higher side of what I like to, comfortably spend at when I'm looking at a knife for my lifestyle, my budget, and everything of that nature. Ergos are just really well done. The build quality, Kunwu just continues to improve. I love that they've gone away from the boxier scales here that you see on the Padre. Like, you see it's kind of boxed off, and instead they've kind of chamfered and rounded it down. I think that's a nice touch. It may be exclusive to the Gringo, I don't know. But on that scale of 1 to 10, taking all of that into account, I'm going to go 8-1 on the Gringo. It is a very nice looking knife that is very well done, and it does offer some exotic stuff at that price point without sacrificing performance. Very fidgety, very well tuned on the detent. It is a little bit of a guillotine because of the weight of the blade more than it is that the tolerances are loose. So the tolerances I like on it a lot, and it still cuts extremely well. They did a good job keeping the blade stock fairly thin, the grind high and flat, and the edge nice and laid back. On this one, I think just stropping it up probably is going to be all you need to do with this one. What held it back for me a little bit is just it is a little weird that if you're making a lefty version that you did the reversible pocket clip. But again, let me know in the comments if you see the value in that, the benefit of that. I just think if you're making lefties, give it a clean show side. I think it would be more appreciated because it would be a dedicated lefty in that instance, I guess. I don't know. Maybe there's some righties out there that like the frame lock on the other side. And I don't know about that niche market. Very comfortable. Again, I think if they would have just rounded that a little bit for me, left-handed would have been perfect. Not my dominant hand. And then just a little bit awkward, I feel like, using that front flipper tab. I can't do it right-handed on the left-handed knife, but few minor nitpicks, I would say. This is gonna rock, guys. Let me throw this wrong side up. Let me know what you think about the Gringo down in the comments below. Do you like this one? Would you be interested if they did a little Gringo? I think a little Gringo probably would be pretty popular because I think this is a really nice looking knife. And again, Kunwu gives you a little exotic at that slightly higher price point, but they bring a lot of good to the table with it, in my opinion. If you enjoyed the video, definitely hit that like. It would be greatly appreciated and it helps the channel. A comment also helps the channel. And if you're going to be doing any shopping, I'll leave all of my affiliate links below. I don't have an affiliate link with Kunwu. They're a little bit selective still on who they let in, so I'm still trying to get one with them, but I know that they offer it at Blade HQ sometimes. These models will go over to that one, so you can check there if you want to try to use the link to help JD out. Special shout out to my channel members. I'm out here, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.